Hello everybody, and welcome to another reaction video, my final for the NBA playoffs, as the NBA finals have come to a close as of yesterday, and the Milwaukee Bucks have defeated the Phoenix Suns in Milwaukee in Game 6 to win their first NBA finals since in almost 50 years. So I'm going to be giving a sort of breakdown, my opinion on the series itself, how I did with my prediction in my last, with my third round video, and how I think these teams can go in the future. So the series was very balanced, and I predicted that the series would go 7 and the Suns would win in 7. And unfortunately, the Suns were down 3-2 after losing games 3, 4, 5, and then losing game 6. Yes, they were up 2-0 and blew it by losing 4 straight, and unfortunately lost the series. Giannis had a very good series, averaging almost 35 points a game, having 2 back-to-back 40-point games with 12 rebounds, and then topping it off with one of, if not the best finals performance that I've seen. As you know, I'm only like 16, so of course I haven't seen what happened with Michael Jordan or people before him, but I think that was one of the most dominant performances I've seen in at least the last decade, that's for sure. He has been so dominant this entire series, and him dropping 50 points, having over 10 rebounds, having 5 blocks on the defensive side of the ball, he was dominant. I rooted for the Suns to win, as I sort of enjoyed watching Chris Paul over the last few years, and it's very unfortunate to see him lose. But I think that if he keeps the team, if he keeps with the same team and the Suns just get one more piece, or if the Bucks just don't make it to the finals and they don't have to play them, they have a better chance. Although I think that now with the Nets, they've got, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, and a bunch of supporting cast members that can be really good. And I think that if they just keep those members, it'll be a lot more difficult for the Suns to win a championship, especially with them from the Eastern Conference coming in and playing them if they make it to the finals again. But I really hope that the Suns can make it, because they deserve something. They haven't been there since 1993, if I'm not mistaken, and it's very unfortunate to see a franchise unfortunately lose in the finals, because that's the worst thing that can happen. It's the worst thing to go all the way, win 12 games, make it to the final, and lose. You were so close, and I think that all the players deserve a round of applause, because they beat some very tough teams. They were able to beat the Lakers, even though yes, they were injured, but they still beat Lakers, LeBron, and everybody in 6 games. They swept the MVP Jokic Nuggets. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers in 6, with Paul George playing amazing, Terrence Mann playing really good, Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverley. They were able to beat them in 6, and unfortunately they lost in 6 to the Bucks. But I think that definitely they can win it next year. Just need another piece to help Chris Paul, because I really want to see Chris Paul win another championship. My prediction, as I said earlier, was Suns in 7, and unfortunately that did not happen. It sucks that it didn't happen, but it was still a very enjoyable series to watch. I definitely enjoyed it, and I am really excited to see what happens in the draft, in free agency, and then to see what happens next season, if it's going to go back to normal, or if it's just going to be similar to this, where they won't, they're still going to spread out the benches. There's still not people in there, of course, but spread out the benches, as I said, and just block off some areas so they can't get closer to the players. I don't know. Hopefully that by then they'll figure that out. Of course they will. But now it's time to talk about Milwaukee. Giannis has shifted his narrative this season, and has definitely make me give him respect. And he definitely helped me realize that he is not a terrible player, and is one that is actually pretty fun to watch, and not a terrible person. He is just a super nice guy. I saw his post game interview, and he was so humble. He was so interesting to listen to, and I think that he's definitely helped me realize that he is not a guy that is a terrible player or one that is undeserving. He's a guy that is definitely worth it, and a guy that definitely deserves everybody's respect, especially with him going back to back in MVPs, having an insane finals, winning finals MVP and a championship. I think that he's definitely deserving of it, and I really, really hope that he can, keep improving, because now I've sort of changed just like that my opinion on him, and I think that he's definitely deserving of another championship to prove those haters wrong. I was once a hater, but now I've seen that Giannis is not a guy that deserves hate or deserves any sort of opinions that are like, no, he can't do this, can't shoot free throws, because he's a guy that can when it needs to happen and can do all that stuff. I think he's a great player, and I can't wait to see what he does next season. It's unfortunate that he had to stay in Milwaukee, but I guess he wanted to support the team that drafted him, and that's totally understandable, and sort of puts a nudge in the NBA saying, I'm going to stay with a small market team and not leave for a big market team. That is gonna do it. It's a little bit of a shorter video because, well, there's only one series to talk about. I think that all the players in this series played tremendously well when they needed to. The Bucks may have a chance to make it next season, although now with the Nets getting a little bit better, and if they're able to stay healthy and not just have either Kevin Durant or Kyrie or James Harden playing, if they have all three of them playing, it may be a lot more dangerous. But I think that the Bucks may have a more difficult chance to make it. But hopefully they can make it and go back to back. The Suns also have a very difficult chance of making it, as it's very difficult to go back to back to a championship unless you have LeBron on your team, or Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on your team, or Kevin Durant. But yeah, I'm super, super happy with how the way the season ended, and hopefully you guys are too. If you didn't watch the game, you should definitely watch it on highlights. The NBA does highlights on their YouTube channel, and you should definitely check that out, as it was such a good performance and such a noteworthy one that you should definitely check it out and see how Giannis did. And to see him break down like that was totally, it was very touching. And to see that, it shows that he put in all that effort and finally did what he wanted to do. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the NBA season. Hopefully you enjoyed the playoffs. Hopefully you enjoyed everything about it. I sure did. And I will make a video for the draft when that does happen in the next few weeks. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want. And I will see you in the next one. That's about it. See ya.